So we've been learning about position in CSS. When we saw position fixed, position relative, and position absolute, how many people just want to see a little live coding review of that? Raise your hands. Z? Yeah? All right. So let's just live code that, and then we'll look at another example of what you could do with it. So we'll do this 03. And if you want to find all this code, you can come to Greater Commons. You can take the whole course. All the videos are available here. It's this one right here. It's a great course to teach you everything you want to know about building websites with HTML and CSS. And if you can't afford the price of the course, message me on Twitter and I'll get you discounted access or free access. I know some places in the world, 20 bucks is like a month's wage. And I don't want to prevent you from not being able to learn. If you want to learn it, baby. So good to be over my nose infection because it was zapping my energy, and then I was just a grouch in class, and I just was not engaging and entertaining. I feel it coming back a little bit. So we have, first of all, position fixed. So to demonstrate position fixed, you know, I'd like to have some stuff on the page. And so I'll put on some ULLI. And give me like 100 of them. Oops, and let's put some content in them so we actually see some. And this is Emmet, and it just helps you write code quickly. And I want to reveal in Finder. So we just have a whole bunch of numbers on the page, right, which can scroll. So now I'm going to add something else. And if I add something else, div, and then just come over here and say div and give it a border of 2 pixels solid red and a background color of tomato and a width of 200 pixels and a height of 200 pixels. And let's bring that out on the page. So there's that. And now I could do position fixed. And if I don't specify anything, what happens with it? Let's just look at that. It's in the corner, right? It's a little bit of space there. So if I don't specify anything, hit refresh. Yeah, it popped down a little bit. Isn't it? It's the numbers are all out now going under it. Did you see that? Watch. Comment that out. The numbers are beneath it. That's document flow. In the flow of our document, we have a div, and then that takes up a line. That's block level, display block. And then we have all of our ULLI, and that starts iterating out. As soon as I go position fixed on that div, all those numbers just went under the div. The div is now out of document flow. Okay, that's position fixed. And I could put, like, you know, let's do HTML, border, 5 pixels solid blue. And so there's my HTML border. Let me just make this a little bit smaller. All right, and then let's do body, border, 5 pixels solid, I don't know, yellow. So there's the body, right? And notice how that's just fixed. That little tomato is fixed on the screen. And then if we said position fixed, right 0, it's going to go over to the right. Boom. And if we said left 0, boom. I guess because width is taking it, overriding it. If I didn't have width there, it does that. Right? And without that left right, just left, it's just a line on the wall because we didn't give it any width. So that's kind of interesting. Just see how you could do that stretch. And if we did bottom 0, it's down at the bottom now, right? It's fixed to the bottom of the viewport. That's kind of cool. Little footer that never goes anywhere. And then if we did top 0, and we're probably going to run into the same thing with the height, right? It just goes to the top. But if we take height off, well, that's interesting, ain't it? You know? So if you needed to have like some little pop-up ad, like you get at Forbes when you go to a Forbes article, you know, And let me just like try to find something, you know, some article. I don't know, this looks interesting. Where's the Forbes article? But like so this right here, right? Like that's out of the document flow. It disappeared. Let's refresh the page. Anyhow, I want to read this article. So that's position fixed. And we're going for a little bit of all of them here. And so now we want to do relative. And so this div has positioning on it. And right now we'll put it in the top left. And we'll give it back a height. We'll give it back a width. And then beneath, and we'll give this an ID. 1. So that's 1. Now we're going to do 2. Div 2. And inside there, div. We'll just do div 2 for this one. And we'll put 2 in it. We'll put 1 in this one. And then we want our text to be centered inside of 1. So we'll do this. Well, we want text to be centered in all of our divs. Since we want this in all of our divs, we'll do div. And what do we want all of our divs to have? We want them to have that. We want them to have that, that. And it's only one. So we want them to have all that. And we also want them to have a color of white. And we want them to have a font size of 2 rem. And we want it to be display, flex, and justify content, center, and align items center. To put everything in the middle. Okay, there's one. And then there's another one beneath that, which is in the document flow. It's in the document flow, that second div, the 2. And so I'm going to put this div here over right. Just get it out of the way. Okay, so there's 2. All right? And I actually want to have 3, 4. This one doesn't. Well, we'll give it an ID anyhow. 3, 4. And now for 3, before we do anything of it, let's go look at our code. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, right? And now for 3, we're going to say position relative, and it's relative to itself. So I could say, okay, come down from the top 20 pixels and come over from the left 20 pixels. Let's do 50 pixels. All right, so it came down 20 and went over 50 relative to where it was supposed to be. So that's the relative. Is the live coding helping? Seeing it again? And then relative to itself. And then we have the next thing, which is like, let's say we had div with an ID of 5, and then it had a, can we do child as that? Add a child of div with an ID of 6. Didn't like that. What about if we stitch it all together? Hey, cool. And that's 6. And it's inside 5. And so 5, we're just going to give it a bigger size. A width of 500 pixels and a height of, well, let's make it, yeah, I guess 500 pixels is good. And background color none. Background color none. Background color. How do I remove background color? Clear background color CSS. Transparent. And we'll do a border on it, 10 pix solid or dashed black. So that's the next one. And then 6 is in the middle of that right now because we did display flex, right, on all of our divs. And we'll position override display flex. It's kind of interesting. So let's put on 5, we'll do position fixed, and we'll do bottom 0, right 10 pixels. Well, we'll do like 50 pixels. 50 pixels. So this is going to take it out of the document flow. It's now over there. It took 6 with it. And now let's position 6 inside of 5, and this is absolute. And so position absolute, remember we have position fixed, fixed to the page, position relative, relative to itself, and absolute is going to be in relationship to the next thing up the DOM, which has positioning set on it. Well, 5 has positioning set on it. The only question I have is whether or not this will override display flex, right? So now we're going to do bottom 0, right 0, and see if we can pin that to the bottom right corner. So this should go right down to there if it overrides it. Sweet, it did. Interesting, right? So that's the, absolute positioning. It's relative to the next thing up the DOM. So some of the things you could do with that, I think we're getting a little bit long in tooth on this video. So we'll explore that in the next video. This is just a little bit of a review of those. Please hit like and subscribe. That helps other people find these videos and helps support me as a teacher. You can take the whole course on greatercommons.com. And it's this course right here. All right, have a great day.